Oh hey, welcome back to Kathy Rain 2 Soothsayer. What are we going to do? What's next? Investigate Cooper's cabin, investigate Andrea Hall. Crack Andrea's PC. Oh yeah, we want to get back because we can't hack her computer. Alright. So I guess Eileen knows something. Also Mildred. We won't. Kathy never wants to bother her, so.
Can I talk to you for a sec?
Sure. What's up?
Heart rate for encryption.
Do you know anything about hard drive encryption?
A little, I suppose. What are the specifics?
Basically, the whole computer is encrypted and it prompts a password when I boot it up. Is there any way to bypass that?
Oh, that's tough. Maybe the computer book I bought for the office last year could be useful?
Oh, right. Remind me, where did we put that?
It's on the shelf behind you, Kathy.
There's one bookshelf. So, you know, why are there so many...
What's your take on Rachel Wang, Eric's neighbor?
From what I know about her, she seems like a really troubled person. I hope she can get the help she needs.
How do you think Tabitha Caldwell fits into the case?
Coincidence.
Hard to say, but everything we have on her is circumstantial, right? So she could easily be innocent in all of this.
I guess so, yeah.
The thing is that the fact that Tabitha is still on the list, because I would also think maybe just a coincidence, but it would be actually super cool if she was incredibly involved. And even if the case spans back decades. So, well, we'll see. Also, I started watching the Let's Play of the first game by John Wolfe, by the way, which I think was the Let's Play I watched the first time years ago. But I don't think I can catch up to where I am now. So I'm probably over with this game before I actually watch the whole Let's Play. So yeah, I'm sorry, because I feel like it's heavily tied to the first game and I have no idea. So, well.
What are your thoughts on the Ingstrom patient that Rose had a relationship with?
Well, I'd say it's an odd coincidence if it has nothing to do with her murder.
Yeah.
Agreed. Let's hope we can get to the bottom of who this mystery patient is soon. What's your opinion on that Phase guy?
Well, drug addicts aren't the most reliable witnesses, are they? We should probably take some of the things he told you with a grain of salt.
Yeah, that might be for the best.
I mean, no one is a reliable witness. Everyone has weird memory. This game is weird about people who use drugs. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird.
What do you think about Victor Cooper?
Well, from what you told me, he sounds like a dangerous person. We have to be careful if we decide to go after him.
I mean, I don't even take drugs, so it's not like, you know, I'm trying to make myself look better or anything, but it's just so weird. Like, who isn't an unreliable witness? Like, everyone, you never know what everyone's motives are, you know, or their memory.
What are your thoughts on Faith Cyrene?
Well, she must be a ruthless woman, butchering Lucas like that.
Jeez.
I'm guessing it wasn't her first kill. She knew several of the murder victims. And even if she didn't take them out personally, she's gotta be a major accessory.
Probably, yeah. I wonder who's in charge, though. Is Faith Cyrene calling the shots, or is it the ranger guy?
That's a good question.
Good question. It could even be someone else entirely. I don't think we know enough to say for sure.
Yeah, the thing is, the people who kill people, are they always the top? Or are they more like left, right hand of who actually calls the shots? Also, I get it, Eileen is now replacing Lucas in kind of summarizing everything.
So, I found out that Lucas's investigation led to a college student called Andrea Hall.
Interesting. What's her link to the case?
Well, apparently Lucas was tracing a motorcycle tied to Andrea. Here's the kicker, though. The description of the bike sounded identical to the one that Faith Cyrene escaped on.
Huh. That's a clear connection between this student and Faith, then. Keep me posted.
That's not the kicker. The kicker is that she's probably the anonymous Jane Doe victim. Oh, we'll probably get to that.
What's your take on the Soothsayer?
They're sick, whoever they are. I don't want to understand them. I just want to stop them from hurting any more people.
Oh, Eileen, never change.
So, Deborah Sinclair, how do you think she ended up crossing paths with the Soothsayer?
Research.
I don't know, but the cabin had no signs of a break-in, right? She probably trusted her killer.
I mean,
Most likely, yeah.
If it was Cooper and he's a ranger, you would definitely trust a ranger. Sorry about my creaky chair. It's part of my channel now, so yeah.
What do you think about Jane Doe, the burned woman?
Oh, what an agonizing death. It makes me wonder if the Soothsayer had some kind of personal vendetta against her.
It's possible. The other murders were relatively quick and clean in comparison, weren't they?
Yeah, quite a risk too, right? Doing it in a public place and everything?
Good point. Seems like an escalation. But then again, most serial killers grow bolder with each kill, don't they?
I guess so. In any case, learning Jane Doe's real identity should be key.
Agreed.
Why are you not sharing? I hate writing like this. Maybe it's implied that they already talked about it, but she just told her about Andrea Hall. So the writing doesn't add up. And I don't like when that happens. It's one of my biggest pet peeves in TV shows and movies, that people just don't talk to each other. And then drama gets elongated into seasons. And things escalate just because someone didn't ask a question or didn't share a very important information that you would share in a normal scenario. You would totally... They even talked about Andrea. Why would... The kicker was the motive. No, the kicker was that she's possibly Jane Doe.
What's your theory on the deacon?
Reverend Winters said that he set up Faith Cyrene with an apartment, right? Well, she probably got close to him just like Eric and then had him killed.
The question is how? It clearly looked like suicide by hanging.
Drugs.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I can't imagine how that could happen to a devout Christian like the deacon.
Maybe it's a combination of drugs and then, not hypnotizing, but yeah, like kind of giving them the prompt to do it.
What do you think happened to Eric Holloway?
From what we learned from Rachel, Faith Cyrene had her claws in him, didn't she?
Yeah. Eric was murdered on a roof too, just like Lucas. Everything points to Faith as the culprit. Any thoughts on the first victim, Rose Taylor?
Not sure, but that affair that she had with an Angstrom patient sounds suspicious, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising if this lover of hers was involved in her death.
So, I just adopted a cat and... Oh, ask about Mildred.
How'd you get along with Mildred when I was out?
It was like I never left. She's such a cutie.
Or rather, I adopted another cat. And I have to separate both of my cats because they're not yet there. And it probably will take a while. So if I sometimes seem a little bit distracted, I'm listening into him. Because if he feels like there's action going on in the rest of the flat and he can't get there, he gets super angry about it. He's adorable, he's lovely, but that's the one. He has big FOMO.
I've been meaning to ask, how do you like living in Cassidy, E?
Oh, like any big American city, it's got some issues, but overall I'm happy here. My family and church are both close by. I've got a decent job, and I adore my little garden apartment.
Garden apartment.
Things could be worse, you know?
Garden apartment.
Good to hear. I wish I could say the same, but you know me. I was born discontent.
A garden apartment sounds so great.
So, are you getting good use out of the book collection I set up in the office?
Obviously not.
Yep.
You haven't even touched those books, have you?
Maybe once or twice.
Man, if I had no money, no friends, and no internet, and I don't even think we have a TV, I would read a lot. I would read so much. I guess we have... No, we can't have internet. It's the 80s. Is it the 80s? Or is it the 90s? I forgot. Wait, it's the 90s. So we have internet, but really slow.
Fancy laptop you've got there.
Oh, thanks. It's new.
Oh yeah, so she doesn't even have a computer. It's Eileen's. So why aren't you reading, Kathy? Just out of boredom.
Did anyone call for me while I was in the hospital?
No.
No, not as far as I know.
Womp
We already discussed
Okay.
that. Sometimes I regret becoming a PI.
Do you really? I can't imagine you doing anything else.
Me neither. That doesn't mean I can't be miserable, though.
Oh, you. Still got those old casework docs on the board, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you're no longer here full-time to keep the place tidy.
Ha ha.
We made quite the team during the Whitmore affair, didn't we?
Yep. Those were good times.
Yeah. A shame what came after.
You're not wrong, but I think John Lennon said it best. Everything will be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it's not the end.
Let's hope those words don't ring too hollow when all this is over.
It's actually a nice quote. I'm not the biggest fan of John Lennon, but yeah, that's a nice quote.
I don't want to show
Okay.
that to her. So, this is the shard that I found in Deborah's cabin.
An important piece of the puzzle. We're lucky you found it.
I don't want to show that to her.
I mean, I would want her to see Cooper just in case.
Look what Meadow gave me.
Good call. I can imagine your chakras are quite out of whack.
Ha ha.
Wow, is that it?
Yep. The Soothsayer used one just like this.
I mean, if Tabitha is involved, it's a smart move to sell them, because then whenever there's fingerprints on them, she could always say, I sell them, you know, I handle them. So obviously there's fingerprints, and it could never be really tied to the crimes. There actually has been a CSI episode about this very topic, so yeah,
I don't want to show that to
why
her.
not? It's relevant.
The doctor gave you those?
Yep. I meant to take them if my head injury acts up. I don't want to show that to her.
Wow. Didn't that thing belong to Lucas?
It sure did. I recovered it near the crash site.
Should you be carrying that around, though? What if the cops catch you with it?
I don't like it more than you do, but we're up against a serial killer. A stun gun can only do so much.
Yeah, I suppose.
By the way, from what I saw, like starting the Let's Play of the first game, she already was very opinionated and arrogant in a way that I could relate as a teenager and maybe even in my early 20s, but at a certain point I just stopped being like, oh, this is uncool, because
All right, that's all.
Okie dokie.
I mean, it's one thing if I don't like something, you know, and I love to complain about stuff. But it's a different thing if someone likes something that I don't like to then make fun of it. I don't know, it just feels wrong. And she, I think in the first game, made fun of romances, which Eileen liked too, and she even burned a teddy bear from Eileen, which that's just a shitty thing to do. So I guess even in the first game, I wouldn't have been her best friend. Did we get anywhere closer to the...
I'd love to see what's hidden on Andrea's computer. I better figure out how to break through her security
I
measures.
mean, you kind of need the password. It's not really... I mean, that is literally hacking, but, you know...
According to JK, Lucas asked her to trace a motorcycle which led to a KCU student by the name of Andrea Hall. I should learn what I can about her.
I don't want to go to Cooper yet. So why did we say we want to... Oh, we have the books. Ugh, I'm a dummy.
Ah, here's the book Eileen mentioned. Excellent. There are a few pages about the type of encryption I saw at KCU.
Cybersecurity, the definite guide, includes software CD. Boot process encryption. The most secure type of hardware encryption is when the boot process itself is encrypted, denying access to the entire operating system without the correct password. However, a notable weakness of this model is a physical flywire connection to a secondary computer with DMA enabled in the target BIOS settings. In that scenario, any common memory utility can be used to eavesdrop on the memory contents of the boot encryption when the decryption process is in progress on the target machine. What? I guess it makes sense, but I couldn't explain it to you. With the right know-how, it is possible to identify the password in the memory feed, extract the related data, and crack it with a decryption program. Note, for educational purposes, the CD distributed with this book contains copies of Memstack and the Scrambler Elite. Ugh, boot passwords in memory. The encrypted representation of a boot password in a memory feed can be identified by searching for a distinct encryption signature. This is so boring. This is kind of... Man, I work in SaaS, and even I think this is boring. These signatures differ for each encryption software, but commonly follow this basic structure. 4-digit software identifier, version number of the software. Wait, I have the book with me. I don't need to write this down. I have it with me. So for example, when using IronCrypt with serial number blah blah blah, the full signature pattern would be... Yeah. Version... 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the serial number. If this is a different, it's entirely the active kernel. The environment can be saved to a file. Thanks for reading.
This should be useful.
Yeah. Take care and good luck, or as kids say these days, take care and good luck. Ugh, okay. I guess all the...
First things first. I need another computer.
I guess all old school programmers are super happy about this riddle. Ah, do we wanna?
Eileen's laptop. She's using it to hack into Faith Cyrene's cell phone. The computer book outlined a technique for using a second computer to crack hard drive encryption. This laptop might come in handy for that. I could ask E about it. Can I talk to you?
Sure. What's up?
Do you know anything about...
A little, I suppose.
Basically the...
Oh, that's tough.
Looks that...
Should be doable then. Anything I
There
can
we
do to
go.
help?
Well, it just so happens I need a second computer and I noticed this laptop you've got here.
I suppose I could make do without that for a while, but just bring it back in one piece, will you? It wasn't
I can
cheap.
imagine.
Why? Have I ever...
Yes! 4 times!
What?
Fair enough.
And she's just laughing. Oh, I would be furious. As a light joke, it's so expensive.
All right, there we go. I've got the laptop set up. Time to deal with the next steps in the book.
Okay. Enable DMA. Okay, connect fly wire cable.
Ah, here's that type of cable that was mentioned in the computer
Okay.
book. Got it. It's pretty short as far as cables go, but it should get the job done. It's a flywire cable.
Yeah,
This-
yeah. There you go.
All right, all hooked up.
Okay. Then we need to enable the DMA blah 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 blah. Ooh. Can I? Oh, I wanted to snoop.
I don't need to mess with that.
Oh, okay. Well.
This CD should have some useful utilities for hacking on it.
Oh.
This CD should have some useful This CD
Nope. Oh shit. Oh, remember when laptops had hard drives? Oh, the day you could watch a DVD. It was very hot and very loud, but you could do it. Nowadays, you need like an external, or you need to connect it to your TV or DVD player, because I still have DVDs. I'm a classic gal. Okay, cool. Okay, whoop, okay. Let's see what the notebook says. Enable DMA. Okay. Requires memory dump, drag onto the program. Ah, there we go. DMA mode.
All right, I should be done with all the setup for the hack now.
Okay, cool.
Coming up next, capturing the password. I should have a look in the next section of the book.
Oh, okay. So we got 3, 1A, bad, and 1911. Those puzzles are ramping up. Sheesh. Okay, can I...
A makeshift
magnet. Can you... I mean, she always has it down when I need it, and suddenly it pops up. Okay, 1F. I guess that's it. Let's see. The others are bad. Okay, we don't have that. And then we have one. Okay. So I guess it's this one. So it's Sec Vault. And the serial number. Oh, serial number. Here we have it. 421162. Okay, so we have 1A, 2B. And now we're missing 4 because we don't have the version number. Oh. VSX. Oh. Oh, it says Zegvold there. Oh. No, I can't scroll or anything, right? It is so weird. I don't... Once again, I'm flummoxed. Because I feel like I'm so close to it. Oh my god. People, this puzzle... So, I read it up. But by the way, the same page for the pager puzzle. This time, I didn't overthink it. Actually, they committed, in my opinion, the cardinal sin of game puzzles. They included an aspect in the puzzle that's not explained. Let me see if it's explained. In that scenario, any common memory utility can be used to eavesdrop on the memory contents of the boot encryption when the decryption process is in progress on the target machine. So, what this means, and I think that's not super clear to be quite honest, but maybe I'm just dumb. You have to run it when you boot the computer, but it takes a couple of seconds to boot and then it's already in the password mode, and the password mode is not when it works. The BIOS is not when it works. It only works when it's in the boot mode, just as you saw. Then it actually runs the numbers. I think this was not very clear in this book, so it's a badly written book for beginners, but also I think it's part of something, because I read a couple of forums where people were like, oh, I'm a programmer, I love this puzzle. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not how puzzles work. A good gaming puzzle gives you all the information needed. And I think this is a little bit cryptic. You know, pun totally intended. So, not happy about this puzzle, to be quite honest. The pager one, that was well, I even think the pager one was a little bit weird, because it you know, implied that it was one message you had to send. So they're getting a little bit sloppy with the puzzles. And yes, I'm not the best with puzzles, but look how far I got on my own. It was really just this weird booting thing, and I always say I'm old, but I was 10 years old in 1994. So, no, I was not a programmer back then, you know. So I have no idea. So I knew how to get into BIOS and everything, but yeah. Alright, I guess we have it now. And...
Damn. The decryption isn't an automated process. I still have to try different passwords against the encryption hash. After each attempt, the utility will spit out some information about how close I was to the right password, though. We're dealing with a 7-character password, including a mix of numbers, lower and uppercase letters. I should have a look around the room. Maybe I can find some 7-letter words to put me on the right track.
Okay. But this is basically like Wordle, so we should be fine. Okay. It's...
Zodkill, a classic. Okay. Might help me forget about the
yeah. Zodkill. No, that's wrong computer. So that's not it.
Looks like some Rastafari thing. Makes me think of the Black Andrea CD collection. There are a lot of records by Sunbeat, Route 6, and Perplex. Reggae music, based on the covers and song titles.
Route 6. Try that. So, Route 6. So we got one correct. Could be Perplex.
Close. Maybe Andrea just obfuscated it a little bit.
So we got... Okay. And then uppercase... No. Yay!
Yes. Got it.
It's pretty good. See? See? I can get it. I'm not I sound like a crazy person. You know, halfway through the movie of like psychological thrillers and everything, when the protagonist is like to a police officer or a doctor, I'm not crazy! That's me right now. Alright. Oh, man. Look, the thing is, I do like the puzzles, but I think some of the information is very ambivalent or not given. And yeah, I have this thing, I think you need to give everyone all the information they need. And then it can be a little bit like, this was super fun. This was cool. I like this. But the one with you have to do it while it boots up, and then you only have 2 seconds, so you don't really feel like... Because I think if the booting process would have been a little bit longer, you would have thought, oh, maybe it's for a reason. But because it was a lot faster than in real life back in the 90s, so Anyways.
Moment of truth.
Can you type it in? Okay, thank you. Alrighty. Wow, that took so long.
Right,
Oh my
I'm
god,
in.
that's horrible. Oh my god, that image makes me... I'm like, Kathy is so judgmental, and I'm like, ew! Look, I had a t-shirt as an early teen, and I hadn't smoked, I hadn't drunk at that point, but I had a t-shirt of, like a bootleg t-shirt bought in Prague, I think, with Bart Simpson with dreadlocks. And, you know, I think even like skateboard and like the whole Rastafari culture get up, and I wore that. I loved it. And now, you know, I'm just saying you, that's why I'm cringing here, because it reminds me of my past. Alright. The base of operations in the old mine sounded like a crazy idea, but the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. Those tunnels have been abandoned for decades, but they're sheltered underground, built to last and well preserved. Isn't she an engineer? The bones of the complex should have electrical infrastructure, heating, plumbing, and some kind of living quarters. The main problem is hijacking the electrical grid, but it should be doable. Wait, did they think about, like, building a fort? A bunker? For a cult? I just got to spoof one of those old mechanics. That's why they needed her. To build this bunker. There was this little... maybe it's one of those entrances exits where she was burned. Because I remember there was like a little thingy there that looked like it led to the underground. Okay, I just got to spoof one of those... power is supplied from the nearest substation, easy peasy. There are other problems too, but I welcome the challenge. Finally a proper project, unlike the brain dead assignments my professor gives me. Holy shit.
The old mines, huh? A good place to hide. They're enormous. Practically half the state is filled with them. I'll need more specifics to track down a site like that.
It's so satisfying seeing a plan coming to fruition. Just think of all the engineering problems I had to solve. Hijacking the power grid, setting up wireless surveillance, figuring out the drug synthesis, even the celestial tracking. Man, what a fucking ride. Celestial tracking? What? Where would my life be now if she hadn't found me among all those junkies and lowlifes? Can you stop talking about people who take drugs like this? It is weird. Look, you... I mean... And she... The way she talks about it is like, I'm not even part of that. I was just among them. I wasn't one of them. No, you were. Totally. When I first met her, it was as if she knew I would be there. It was as if she was looking for me all along. Maybe she did. Finally, someone who truly saw me. Somebody who understood and respected my potential. Ew, she sounds a bit insufferable. To think that a year ago, the biggest thing on my mind was finding the right dose of amphetamines. Pyre is incredible, and we're only just on the second batch. And that's the thing, you're still doing drugs. So those junkies and lowlives, they're your neighbors. You're not better than them just because it's a different drug. That's not how this works. It's like those rich people taking medicine and pills, you know, and they're all like, ew, those junkies. Man, you also... And I'm not, you know, addiction is a horrible thing. It's an illness, you know. First of all, it's not a mental weakness, it's an illness. But second of all, taking one drug over the other is not making you a better person. And I mean that with, like, addictive drugs. I'm still, again, not talking about, like, smoking weed or whatever. Although I'm in general not too hot. Like, I don't think drugs, alcohol are cool, you know. But I don't even care. Okay. Just imagine how powerful it can get with the perfect formula. Sorry, a lot of monologuing, a lot of soapboxing here. But yeah.
Not sure what to make of all this, but it sounds like Andrea was in cahoots with the pyre dealers, building some kind of secret base for them.
I gotta say, if you start working for drug dealers, literal drug dealers, you know, and also you think you're better than everyone else because you're working for them, I'm not saying her death was deserved, but you should know that you're getting yourself... like, you're building a secret base. All my alarm bells would go off. I would not... I mean, come on, Andrea. So smart, right? Pfft. I just came back from the Sanctum. Sanctum! It's a cult. And I'm fucking horrified. Pyre isn't what I thought it was. Oh, really? The smartest girl at university. Ugh. No, it's a conduit to something terrifying, something indescribable. I knew it. Cosmic horror, access via drugs. Hey, she can't know, can she? No. Faith wouldn't keep that from me. Not after everything we've been through. I have to tell her, and she'll know what to do. Uh-oh. I set up a meeting at Constance Hill. Between here and the hideout. I can't go back down in the dark alone again. I can't face what I saw there. Ooh.
Well, that removes any shred of doubt. Andrea Hall was Jane Doe.
Yeah.
Sounds like something about Pyre scared the shit out of her. Did that have something to do with her death?
God, this is... It's brilliant because it's so accurate. It is... I know everyone involved knew how horrible this is. I think that's it. Right?
Hey, Rebecca?
Yeah,
I'm done here. Gonna head out. Thanks for the help.
no problem. Did you learn anything?
Yeah.
I did, but it's not looking good. Andrea was involved with some bad people. I think it's more than likely that she's Jane Doe. I'm sorry.
God damn it. I fucking knew it. I need to process this. You'll talk to the cops, right? I can't deal with them right now.
Of course. Take care of yourself, Rebecca.
You too.
Don't forget the laptop, Kathy. Don't forget your friend's laptop. Okay.
This laptop worked like a charm. Thanks.
Glad to hear it. What'd you find out?
Too much to explain now. I'll fill you in tonight. I still need to go and track down Cooper.
Okie dokie.
It's 2 sentences. It's 2 sentences, Kathy. Anna Hall was involved in a cult. She was involved with the drug pyre. She was killed by Faith. She's Jane Doe. Okay, it's not 2 sentences, it's a few more sentences, but it didn't take very long. Also, look at this. While I was saying all this, you just stand there, Kathy. You're not doing anything. Just talk. Talk to people. Kathy, I know it's your whole thing, but it is annoying as heck. Just share information. You never know. It could be really dangerous for Eileen not to know this. Alright. And after that, we're done for this episode. But yeah, we're getting very close, right?
The stash is on the smaller side, but I guess we're nearing summer now. They probably plan to refill it in the fall.
I see this axe. Do
What
we
a
want
monstrosity. I couldn't even hope to lift that thing.
to... Okay. Well,
A handheld lantern. Kerosene, probably? In any case, I have no need for that right now.
I mean, if we go down to the mines, we might.
All smudged. Can't see jack shit in there. It says, this building is federally owned. I believe that's the standard for national parks. No state jurisdiction.
Oop!
Well, fuck. Oh, my head. This is not good. Need my pills.
I can't do anything, so... Oh, she does it on her own. Oh. Did I mess this up? Was there a quick time event I didn't notice? Ew! Okay.
Do you see?
First game, probably.
The noose, the iron. Those were the holy instruments of my rebirth.
Wait, this is how Isaac Price died. That psycho priest in Conwell Springs.
Let's get back.
Nearly there. Fight your ignorance, child.
No, it can't be. You can't actually be him.
Can't I? I told you, there is no death, only change. When everything burned, the Crimson One slipped out of his suit and skittered away like a cockroach. With a heavy heart, I donned the mantle. I became Mr. Burgundy.
That's a silly name.
And now my form is his shelter.
It's scary because it's TV static. Oh, you again? What?
Easy. Don't try to get up just yet. I don't want you to faint on me again.
Oh, it's you. Tom, was it?
Yes. My name is Tom Ward. But for the longest time, my name was taken from me.
And in its place, you were only given a hue of red.
What?
You're the Crimson One.
Yes. When you burned the threshold, I was set free. I'm ashamed of my past, and I wish to make amends.
That's so? Why should I believe anything you say? You put me through hell in 1995.
Things were out of my control. You don't wear the suit wears you. You can stretch it, bend it, but if you go too far and rip the fabric, you rip yourself.
I see you haven't lost your penchant for nonsense metaphors. At least you're not fucking rhyming again.
There's the Kathy we all know and love. I was afraid I had lost you there for a while.
I'm still me. Not that that got me anywhere. I'm broke and brain damaged, my friend was killed, and I'm chasing some of the most dangerous people on the planet.
Dangerous indeed. Which is why I will urge you to reconsider a cooperation. We have a common foe, and you will need allies.
For all I know, you're the same bastard you always were, and this is all some kind of double-cross.
If it was, it would be quite an elaborate one. Weren't you completely helpless a few minutes ago?
I guess so. I should say thanks for that.
You're welcome. I understand that all of this is a lot to take in, and in due time, I'll explain everything.
You better. I don't know what the hell is going on, and you're just giving me more questions.
I realize that, but this is neither the time nor the place. When circumstances allow, I'll come find you again.
Just wait a minute.
Oh my god. What is this?
Oh. Getting woozy again.
Will you take the rope? Can never
All right.
hurt.
I think I'm okay now.
You want to take your pills?
Well, he's gone. Again. Guess there's nothing I can do but check out the cabin. Say what you will about Tom, but he did save my sorry butt.
You don't want to take it? I would always take rope in a point and click. I'm not sure I like that they tied the second game so much to the first one, especially given that the first one was more than 10 years ago. I feel like that's a gap where at some point you have to be more inviting to people who have not played or don't remember the first game and forcing them to replay it, because I feel like a lot of the story escapes me. And you know, did it quite well. Remedy was a Remedy for Control Alan Wake. They did it quite well because I feel like their new Alan Wake game, even if you don't remember the original story, it explains a lot and it guides you and it feels like you're experiencing it for the first time. It gives a lot of hints to the past, but it doesn't rely on you knowing about everything to kind of get the story and recognize people and everything it tells you. So I think they did it a lot better. And here I feel like I need to just read about it, watch the Let's Play, play the game, like basically spend 6 to 8 hours to know what the heck is going on here, because I feel like the short intro we got at the beginning of the game that summarized the story, that was not enough. And also she doesn't explain enough. It would be nice if there would be like a diary or something that would give us more context, or at least the folks that don't know anymore what happened. And that's the thing, I watched the Let's Play, so I actually experienced the game, but I can't remember because it has been years and I don't know. I think it's kind of, I don't know, it's turning it into a niche game that is very, very niche and a little bit exclusive. And I'm not sure I like it that way. Okay, let's go. Sorry, very
Locked.
ranty here.
What a shock.
Well, guess what? Chicken butt. So if it's locked, he's probably not in there, right? That's good. We want that. Also, if we would have taken the rope, you wouldn't have seen that it was used. Just my 2 cents.
Various books. Nothing looks out of the ordinary.
This looks adorable. I would love to spend some time here. Not live here. It's a little bit too rudimentary for that.
Decent-sized heater. This must eat quite a lot of firewood in the winter. I doubt this place is well insulated.
You know what would be like a third game would be the best point to pick up the first one, but the second I would have probably written a completely new story just to introduce people back to her and to the world, and then make references to the old game, but not revolve the entire story around the first game. I don't know. I don't know.
I think that's a paraffin lamp. Probably a useful light source in here after dark. A case of something. Beer, maybe?
Another lamp. We should take one, really.
Dishes and cutlery. Nothing interesting. Gas stove. Guess there's no electricity out here. He's got running water, though, at least. Must have been used recently. This floor is spotless. Well, either that or Cooper doesn't spend much time here.
A lot of herbs. Maybe he is in cahoots with Tabitha.
Huh?
Oh.
What was that?
Entrance to the mines.
A secret compartment. There was a hand-drawn map and also some kind of document in there. A sack of potting soil. I don't need to mess with that. Quite the plant collection. Guess this guy's got a green thumb. A gardening spray can for watering or applying pesticide. Probably for that high shelf with potted plants. Military style. Maybe he used to be in the army or something.
That's it? Okay, let's look at the...
Whoa, this is an Ingstrom discharge form from last year.
No.
The name on here is Victor Kopernik, though, not Victor Cooper. Cooper, Kopernik? They're quite similar. Maybe he changed his name after they let him out?
Of course he did.
The timeline fits perfectly with Rose's affair, too. This guy has got to be her secret lover.
Oh.
I better head back to Ingstrom's tomorrow to follow up on all of this. It's too late to catch their visitation hours today. Looks like Cooper has drawn a map here. A path through some kind of tunnels. There's no indication of where this is, though. Maybe if I had something to compare it with? Oof, long day. I better get back to the office and share all of these findings with Eileen.
Kopernik, huh?
Okay.
I wonder why he changed his name.
He was discharged from a mental institution. Maybe he just wanted to throw a wrench in background checks?
Yeah, I suppose that could be it. What about this Tom guy then? Do you think we can trust him?
I don't know. I think so, but it's complicated. It has to do with everything we went through in 1995.
Oh, you know we never really talked about that. Over the years, I've started to remember things. Fragments. It wasn't just some nutty priest, was it?
No, it was something much more sinister than that. And I think that these murders are somehow connected to it.
All the more reason to stop the Soothsayer then.
Agreed.
How did things go at KCU then? I never imagined you'd go back to school.
Me either. Let me tell you what I found.
Poor Andrea. What a horrible way to go.
Indeed. Can't say I envy her. We shouldn't forget that she wasn't all that innocent, though. She was helping the pyre dealers and showing no remorse about it. On the contrary, she seemed excited as hell about it.
Until she wasn't, right? In the last note from her, it said she was scared out of her mind.
Yes. Something about pyre freaked her out, and from the look of things, that's what got her killed.
Well, at least we know now they have a secret hideout in the mines.
Yeah. Narrowing down that location will be the final piece of the puzzle. Anyway, how have things been progressing here? Any luck with the phone?
Easy peasy. cracked and ready. I had a peek in the contacts, and guess who I found in there?
Who?
Tabitha Caldwell, that florist lady.
Damn. So Faith Cyrene knew her. Tabitha's involved then. She's gotta be.
Yeah, at least her name was in Faith's contact list, whatever that implies.
The implication is fishy as hell. Let's leave it at that. Anything else?
Not that I could find, but you know this case better than me. Any ideas?
Well, there's this one thing. Rachel Wang mentioned this upsetting phone call.
Oh, right. Outside Eric's apartment, wasn't it? You even had the date and time.
Yeah, here's the transcript.
January 14th, 4:15 p.m. Okay,
So?
got it. Lasted a couple of minutes, apparently. The number is not in the contact list. 555-059-325.
Oh, fuck.
What?
I know that number. That's the Ingstrom Psychiatric Hospital.
Oh, well, that's easy. Probably just this Copernic guy, right? He was a known patient and in cahoots with Faith.
Wasn't he already
No, that's
released?
impossible. He was discharged last year.
Yeah.
And this was January. So someone else made that call.
Well, I guess I have a plan for tomorrow then. Tabby's garden, then Ingstrom's.
Yes, I'll stay here and look into Copernic more, now that we have his original name.
Sounds good. You on the bed?
Nah, couch is fine. Sleep tight.
I thought they live in the same city. Can't she sleep in her own place? Oh no, Mildred! Maybe her mother is involved? That looked like, because you always resemble your mother, blah blah blah. Finish day 5. Alright! Also, why did I
Rain
think
again,
this...
huh? Let's go see if E is up yet.
Why did I always think that this was in 1994? I don't know. So... Tabitha's involved. Andrea was Jane Doe. They built a bunker, so it's probably a cult. They probably used Pyre to get access to the Burgundy Man. The Burgund Man. Mr. Burgundy. Mr. Burgundy sounds like a kid's show from the 80s or 90s. You know, Mr. Burgundy's Neighborhood. Anyways, and then the Crimson King, I have no idea. Wait, you know what we're going to do? Let's quit. A college student studying journalism returns to her fictional hometown of Cornwall Springs after she learns of the passing of her paternal grandfather, Joseph. I should have done this in the first episode. I'm very sorry it took this long. But at the beginning, it wasn't that tied to the past, you know, and to the previous game, so... At the funeral, she immediately reconnects with her grandmother, whom she has not seen since she was a child. Shortly after the funeral, Kathy's grandmother explains that an incident involving Joseph had left him confined to a wheelchair in a vegetative state without any medical explanation. Curious, Kathy decides to probe deeper into what happened to her grandfather. In town, Kathy finds a tape from Joseph in the police archives and gets involved in a case he himself had been investigating. A child prodigy painter named Lily Myers, who drowned in 1975 in an apparent suicide, most of her artwork having been stolen right after it was acquired by art collector Charles Wade, who was also one of Joseph's colleagues in the USAF. In addition, Kathy also encounters an old, overdeveloped photograph concerning 3 strange lights resembling the will-o'-the-wisps. That's little fairy lights that usually you will follow them, you know, in the forests or usually in the swamps, and then or the bogs, and they will basically lead you to, I don't know, quicksand, or you know, where you basically drown, get lost. Anyways, as well as the red flower, which Kathy later learns to be the red scythe, an endangered species of flowers known to cause hallucinations as a side effect. So I guess Pyre probably is made from red scythe. Investigations into both leads both point to the local Church of the Holy Trinity, whose symbol is very like the three strange lights in Joseph's picture. We also have a church. Is it also the Church of the Holy Trinity? Where Kathy, but she would have mentioned it, where Kathy suspects the local priest, Father Isaac, is running a cult utilizing the red size to influence people like Joseph and Lily. At the same time, Kathy's college roommate Eileen Summers arrives to try and aid in the investigation, but is then caught by Isaac while trying to infiltrate the church. Learning of this, and in spite of being arrested in an attempted invasion, Kathy manages to escape imprisonment, rescue Eileen, and knock down and expose Isaac for kidnapping as well as his involvement in the robbery of Lily's paintings. However, Eileen is left in a catatonic state similar to what happened to Joseph. That's why she does remember. Confronting Isaac in jail, Kathy learns of Isaac's involvement with the Crimson One, a bald man in a red suit who had been influencing people over the years as well as appearing frequently in Kathy's dreams and visions. The Crimson One had also been frequently visiting Lily, and it's eventually revealed she started rejecting her gifts for painting, culminating in her committing suicide by proxy via her brother Nathan. Kathy visits Nathan, asking him more on the matter, and he guides her to a particular deep pit within Cornwall Woods surrounded by red size, where she finds the Crimson One and proceeds down to the pit, determined to save Eileen. The bottom of the pit proves to be a supernatural, hellish plane, where visitors are forced to confront their past and sources of misery. Kathy herself is forced to come to terms with her hatred for her parents. Her father abandoned her at birth. She had to commit her mother to a mental institution and went through an abortion when she got pregnant. Oh, don't remember that. She's eventually guided by an apparition of Lily to meet with Joseph, who instructs Kathy to burn all the red size, to sever the connection from the supernatural world with the reality above. The two bid farewell, but not before Joseph tells Kathy that he's proud of her for the remarkable courage she has shown throughout his entire journey. Kathy returns to the surface and sets the entire meadow ablaze. She heads back to find Eileen no longer comatose and learns that Isaac had hanged himself while in prison. So Isaac was not... Yeah, and the Crimson One... So he was a bald man. So did he just shave his head? Because he grew his hair back? Because Tom Ward was like, I'm the Crimson One. So that is a weird thought, right? That you have like a villain who's bald and just really meticulously shaves his head amidst all his plans for domination. Anyways, the next morning, Kathy and Eileen bid farewell to Joseph at his grave one last time. Kathy remarks that they had made a pretty good investigative team and teases Eileen to not get kidnapped next time. Eileen ignores this, excited at the prospect that there will be a next time. So, the Crimson One is a bald man in the red suit. But then, how can Tom Ward be the Crimson One? He looks very different from the guy in the suit was seeing. So I read this, and I still don't know what's going on. So this will be, to be quite honest, whenever this happens in a game, I'm always more interested than immediately disappointed. I mean, I don't like all the ties to the first game, because I think it, number one, Kathy Rain, it is a staple in horror point and click, but it's not that popular. It's still, I think, kind of a tip, you know, something that not everyone, it's not Monkey Island, you know, it's not Simon the Sorcerer. So for a game that's a little bit niche and came out ages ago, I don't know if 10 years is over exaggerated, but it's been quite a while. I think it relies too much on people knowing what happened in the first game. And maybe it's so they will play the first game, but I always think, man, if you want people to invest 10 plus hours into your game, don't force them to invest another 6 to 10 hours into another game. Like, don't let them do homework. So, yeah, I'm not happy about that, but here's the thing about the story right now. I'm not necessarily mad about it. I'm just wondering how they will solve it in a way that feels narratively fulfilling and satisfying. Especially since I hope they tell enough within the second game that you would not need to know what happened in the first game. Or rather that the very short intro before I started would have sufficed. Because then that's good writing. What's bad writing is when there's so much left to... Yeah, you know, you need to know the game that came out 10 years ago. So I'm actually looking forward to this, to see how they solve this. Also, it feels like it was a very chaotic game in the first place, the original. I can't remember it as much, but reading this, yeah. Because when I remember Nightmare Frames, I never had the point where I was like, what's going on? Because I don't know, it felt really clear cut, very focused. Despite a lot of weird stuff happening, a lot of people involved, but I never had the feeling that I lose the story. And here I feel like I'm kind of losing the story. I'm not quite sure how it will be all brought together, but I'm actually looking forward to it. And I hope the game will do it well. Because that's what we always want, right? I do think it's not quite at the level of The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow. However, that game had the advantage. It was not... First of all, it was not a detective, because Nightmare Frames also... I think he was a journalist or something. But it really... Was he? Yeah. But there was no... Well, Excavation of Hobbs Barrow also was kind of investigating. But yeah, it felt so... Like, that game is so perfectly written. The plot is amazing. Every single character interaction, every single description of every single item that you can look at felt really valid. Like, nothing was just wasted. No word was wasted. No voice line. It felt so whole. And here, a lot of the conversations, but also sometimes a few explanations of the details in the surroundings feel like, do they really need to be there? Do they add something? And I know they probably want to add to have like immersion, to make the world feel rich. And, you know, have certain things just to be there to make it more colorful. But sometimes it feels a little bit like too much stuffing. Because in this game, a lot is going on in this game. And I think that's the thing. It's not like you play this game to experience this world. You play this game to experience an incredibly, not complex, but an incredibly, you know, chaotic, diverse murder mystery. And so, do you really need to know about descriptions of, I don't know, the kitchen? You know, that there's a wood stove and stuff like that. Maybe it comes in later. Maybe it has a relevance to the story. But there's a lot of things also in the conversations where sometimes I feel like, do I really need to know this? Does this give me any info on the character or the story? Does this add to my experience? And I feel a little bit of this does not... you know, it might add to it, and I think that's more subjective. I think, for example, a good example would be when you're at the newspaper, and Eileen's colleague, you know, he has all those gimmicks to tell us a little bit about himself, and it's part of a puzzle because we need to find something that riles him up. So Eileen is pissed at him and, you know, tells all his secrets. But there's a few things about the tea he's drinking and everything, you know, where it feels like, okay, this probably they wrote it to add to the character. So you're like, oh, he's a tea drinker, and Kathy doesn't like that, you know. But in the end, it's meaningless, especially when you have this other puzzle that is about drinking tea, and maybe that was a red herring, and that's maybe on purpose there, I don't know. But yeah, there's a few things and conversations where I feel like it's not needed. It's a little bit too much. And that might be me just complaining on a high level. It's just that, and if you're new to this channel and this is the first time you see me playing a point-and-click game, this is usually not how I go through it. I'm not that critical usually. I played Excavation of Hobbs Barrow, I played Nightmare Frames, I played a lot of Octavio Navarro games. I played Strangeland, and I love them all. Like, I'm a huge fan of point-and-click horror games, and I love getting into this, you know, getting really immersed, getting super interested in it, and then complaining about not getting the puzzles. That part is always the same. But here, there's something about the writing, about the tropes, about a lot of conversations that feel like filler. and it might change towards the end, because usually those games, they really pick up steam towards the end, but I'm not really fully there. So, yeah. And it's not about me not liking Kathy, because in Nightmare Frames, I really dislike the protagonist, but I love the game. So, it's not about that. I can very well dislike a protagonist and still enjoy the game hugely, incredibly. So yeah, but maybe that's just a mid-game funk, maybe it will get better, because I think a good ending can solve a lot of nitpicking throughout the game, If it's a really good ending that feels like, yeah, this is fantastic, then I'm usually a lot more calmer and softer with my end review. But right now, yeah, if you watch this, and if you also watch this very long ramble, you can tell me if you think it's just me being cranky, or if you also have the same feeling. And also if you have other things to say about the game. Also about if you played the game, the first one, no spoilers please in this for the second game, but if you played the first game or watched the Let's Play recently and know maybe a little bit more to shed light on it, feel free to share in the comments. And that's it. I will now shut up. Until next time. Bye! This is my self-recorded outro song, so I don't get hit with copyright claims. If you subscribe to a lot of fun tutorials, reviews, and Let's Plays.